turned 45 this year, and you call this the
I did, yeah.
midpoint of your life. So, what does it mean
Well,
for you?
wag naman sana natin sabing midpoint. Baka mamaya hanggang parang tinalag ako na kung kailan yung
This is
ending ng life
the
ko. No?
stage of your life.
Yeah. You know, that's interesting. When I turned 45, a lot of things changed automatically. Maybe it's because nag-mature lang ako, or my brain cells changed, or whatever. But so I haven't celebrated my birthday, Angela, for a long time. For many reasons, personal. But when I turned 45, somebody gave a party for me, and I was sharing so when they asked me to speak, I was sharing with them na parang the way I look at my age, it's not so much that I'm celebrating the last 45 years of my life, but more celebrating X minus 45. What do I mean? The truth is, we don't really know hanggang kailan tayo mabubuhay.
Right, that's true.
This can
Tomorrow
be,
is never promised.
diba? This can be middle of my life. This can be the last day of my life. We'll never know, the last week of my life. So I shared with them na X is the number of years that God had intended for you to be here, to complete whatever purpose it is that is given you. And X minus 45, which means nagamit mo na yung 45 years noon, and then you have extra meaning left. So I find that celebrating that X minus 45 is more useful than celebrating the past 45. Because the last 45, basically you can't do anything about it except take the lessons that you can get from it. But the last X minus 45 years, you can actually do something about it. You can be more purposeful in whatever you do, in the experiences you pursue, the thoughts that you collect in your heads and you share with others. You can be more intentional. So, parang for me, X minus 45 is what I want to focus on is more how do I become first and foremost. How do I become a better person? Which means not just a good person, but something good for someone. Not just a good person, but also good for something. I want to be a better father and husband. And how can I help this country? So nandun na tayo sa stage ngayon. So is it maturity?
Yeah.
Maybe. Is it
some level of maturity na may factor din ba yung age, or you would also say the experiences that you had in your life?
I would say more than age, it's more the experiences.
Yeah.
I've gone through many things. I've lived many lives. I've worn many hats. I've done so many things, good and bad.
Right.
So I think it's more the experience, Angela.
Right. But you once said every scar has a story. And I do believe also that for you to be able to truly embrace yourself or to truly love yourself is to embrace the scars and the battles that come with it, no? So to love every season of your life. So can you tell me more about this advocacy that you are
so you're referring
the Scar Project?
I'm referring you're referring to the Scar Project. Okay, so it's the 35th year of our company, if I may share, of the Bello Medical Group. And for the last 35 years, we've been making people beautiful. Right? And over that 35 years, we've accumulated techniques, skills, experiences, mindsets that will help us, that can help us make people beautiful, but also restore confidence of people. And so, naisip lang namin this year, instead of celebrating, instead of having a huge party, I mean, you look at what's happening to the Philippines now,
Right.
and how
Flood
parang
control projects,
parang mali.
the corruption
Diba?
and all, the hunger.
Parang mali to be focusing on that. I'm not saying we're not celebrating, but parang mali to start with that. So naisip namin, how do we now use all these resources and experiences so that we can help people?
How does this advocacy, resonate you?
So ganito yan. So going back to that lang, just to finish. So we wanted to use all the resources and experiences that we have to help really change lives. Now, we looked at different opportunities to serve other people, and we saw that there's nothing in the world, and I Googled it, I really looked it up, there's no focus on people with scars. And if you think about it, the possible reason is because scars are not fatal. I mean,
Pwedeng nandyan lang siya.
naka-survive ka na, so
Naka-survive,
parang
yeah,
hindi mo na
that's right.
kailangan. And so, but then, it may not be fatal, but for the well-being of other people, it can be fatal. Dahil ibig sabihin, may mga taong nawala na ng pag-asa.
Yeah.
Hindi na humaharap sa mundo. Or
Nawala ng confidence for that
or
matter.
hindi nila na-try, hindi nila na-experience yung na-experience mo or na-experience ko bilang normal people. Parang yung pagtanggap sa atin ng mga tao that we're okay, right? So we wanted to give them a chance. But at the same time, it also comes from my own emotional scar. Not just emotional scar, I mean, I can say it's also a spiritual scar. And I know from experience that just because you're scarred doesn't mean you're scarred forever.
Right.
Spiritually speaking and emotionally speaking, I was scarred because of the wrong decisions that I made, things that were done to me and things that I did to myself. And I don't, just to be clear, I don't blame others for these things. These are things that I caused to myself, and I face the consequences of it. But then, over the many years that I was trying to get back on my feet, there were people who helped me, people who guided me, who brought maturity into my life and wisdom. Some of them older than me, some of them younger than me, some of them been friends for a long time, some of them new people that God brought into my life. And because of that, there was healing in my own personal scars. And now I experience what a beautiful life, I mean, a beautiful internal life looks like, and a beautiful spiritual life looks like. Now, translate that what we can see and touch, which is physical. We thought that, well, I personally thought that maybe we can do this also in a more metaphysical sense, which is, why don't we change them, not just physically, but also change them emotionally and spiritually? So the SCAR project is not just about fixing physical scars or correcting them. We have involved psychiatrists, and I personally will get involved in the more spiritual matters.
So parang it's a holistic approach.
It is very, very holistic. And I mean, we are a whole being. And I don't think fixing a single scar just like that, especially if it's caused by a trauma. I don't think just because, if, say, for example, we have one case there that I saw that was caused by abuse, a woman who was abused. Just because we fix the scar doesn't mean the trauma of that experience is gone. So we also have to heal those things. And so also spiritually, because there are people there that yung scars nila is because of things that they did to themselves unwisely, because of peer pressure or whatever.
Right.
And fixing those scars doesn't, if we don't fix the deeper problem, the deeper scar, then babalik lang naman yan.
Right,
I mean,
right.
I'm referring specifically to someone who was cutting.
Yeah.
So yeah, even if we erase it, but hindi namin naayos yung emotional,
Underlying condition.
yung
and
underlying
that,
condition and
what
emotional
caused
stability.
it, diba? Oo.
Yan.
So siguro yung physical you're saying is just one step forward.
I think it's the most superficial of all, but then that's our specialty.
Yeah.
So parang we
Yeah.
just want to use what we're good at for
Right.
something that's more meaningful. Even, I mean, I'm not saying what we're doing is not meaningful, but this one is even more meaningful because we're helping people who otherwise would not help themselves. Wala
Right.
silang resources. Diba?
Exactly. All right. So during our conversation, you've mentioned about spirituality, faith, and in your interviews as well, you said that. I was wondering if you could also share with me your journey to faith.
Okay. So I was born to a Catholic family.
Yeah.
So pretty very religious family. Ibig sabihin, the ceremonies
Yeah,
and
yeah,
rosaries and all that stuff. But I was sent to a born-again Protestant school, the born-again Chinese school. So I had that foundation of knowing the Bible and what it's all about, and about the concept of the doctrine of grace and all that. But then when I was young, and I'm very open about this, so I don't mind sharing. I was sexually abused when I was, this is the funny thing. I don't even remember the exact age. These are things that kind of compartmentalized and kind of erased. So because of that, even though I still believe in God, my problem is that I don't know if I can trust this God. Because my deep question is, if God loves me,
Why did it happen to you?
then why would He allow this to happen to me, a child? So I graduated. I went to the university. When I went to that university, faith, religion is not very important, even though it's supposed to be a very religious school. And then, I was getting popular in school. My grades were I would say I'm not an average. It's really above average. I'm a bit of a social butterfly. So and I'd like to believe na God has given me the gift of kind of
The gift of communication?
the gift of charm, I think, more. So I was Mr.
People person.
I was Mr. Congeniality, but although deep inside I'm an introvert. So parang I was succeeding, and I became a model, and I was a varsity player. I had good grades, and then after that I went to med school.
Right.
And my parents naman say that I'm not bad looking. Sabi ni mommy, which is my mom is very pretty. Sabi niya kamukha ko daw siya. So I guess sinasabi niya, I mean,
Our moms love us.
but because I'm safe to say I'm not naman that terrible looking. So parang that problem became my root problem, which is pride. Even though outwardly I was humble, deep inside I had two problems. One is I was broken because of what happened to me. And second, there's this pride that is lumalala, na nakatago, na I can succeed pala in life without God. Just by myself, just by my charm and intelligence and PR, etc. Pwede pala yun. So when I got surrounded by, the enemy knows how to trap you. So when I was unwise with the people I was surrounding myself with. So at one point I stopped believing in God. Let's just put it that way. And that was the start of my spiraling downwards. Yung time that I stopped seeking the face of God, I stopped praying and stopped basically threw my faith in the back burner. That was the start of it. And then, so after med school, I went abroad to study anti-aging medicine. When I went back, I started practicing. And then I entered showbiz, which I'm not ready for. In showbiz, they tell you what is possible for you. They show you the stars and the universe. It's all in front of you, etc., etc. But they will never tell you about the fall. Okay, they will keep on praising you, para to succeed.
I know.
But then no one will ever tell you about what it's like to
The darkness behind it.
The darkness behind it, and when you become irrelevant and when you start falling. So anyway, my personality was not for TV. My personality was not for things like this.
Before we move forward, nagsisi ka ba? Did you ever regret getting into showbiz?
I that's a yes and a no. It's a yes because,
How?
I'm not proud of the things that I have done. I don't blame showbiz per se for that, but the environment was not right for me. I'd say I also don't regret it because it led me to where I am now. And I always say our vision backwards is always 2020. Malinaw na malinaw lahat na nangyari sa'yo is for you to be where you are right now.
Right.
And it all things work together for good for those who love the Lord, says Paul in Romans. So looking back, alam ko lahat na nangyari was for me to be exactly right here talking to you about my faith and how I can glorify my Lord. So what happened to me was pag pinagsama-sama mo yung components, I was getting sikat na, I was a varsity player, as a matalino, as a model, as this, and now I'm a doctor, and now pumasok ako ng showbiz, I was getting popular, at least in
your head,
in my little world, compared to my peers. Parang payabang na ako ng payabang. Ang problema ko, I wasn't prepared, so I got into drugs, and then I wasn't also ready for that. I have a kind of an addictive personality, some of those. There are people who have addictive personality. Right. So I'm one of them. So I got addicted to drugs and I became different. the pinakamali was that in showbiz, the tendency of people is that they create a version of themselves, an image of themselves that people will fall in love with. And people fall in love with that image, but at the end of the day, that image is not you.
It's not you.
So ibig sabihin, when you come home and when you sleep, mag-isa ka na lang, and you think about, you become authentic to yourself because kayong dalawan lang yan, ikaw at sarili mo, di ba? Then you realize you're still that same broken person. So in my case, even though people were falling in love with this image that I created, I'm still that broken person who have an issue with God, have an issue with other people. So I think the greatest good that God allowed that God had done in my life is to expose my double life so that how he did it was really painful, I would say. It was a sex scandal. And it was all over the news and really destroyed me. I lost my medical license for a while. I lost all my friends. I lost my career. I lost my reputation, which you can never ever buy. So I lost everything at that time. But then that is the greatest good that God did in my life because it exposed not my perversion, but it exposed my pride.
Right.
And pride is a more dangerous sin compared to any other thing. So in 2013, so I was on drugs. 2008, I tried to kill myself. 2009, I tried to kill myself. Failed twice. And after my second attempt, I thought maybe there is someone out there who is really, there's another dimension to this, not just the physical. So I started entertaining spiritual life. But then I started not with Christianity because I felt that, sabi ko nga, may issue ako with God. I have an issue with the God of the Bible, so there must be something else. So I went to rehab first. And in rehab, ang tinuturo sa'yo doon is that in most rehabs, ang tinuturo sa'yo doon is if you think the right thoughts and do the right things, then you will be able to change. And I saw that it doesn't. Because everyone in the rehab, nakasama ko doon, iba doon 14 years, 20 years. And then I realized most rehabs are just businesses. They want patients and they want patients to stay there so that they can earn money. Konti lang yung genuinely gusto yung
would really want to help somebody
mag-heal yung Parang yung mga DPWH flood control natin. Ayaw nilang gandahan para tuloy-tuloy yung projects.
Tuloy-tuloy
diba?
lang yung negosyo.
So ganun din. Ayaw din talaga nila mag-fully heal kasi pag nawala yung patient, pag gumaling,
there will be no
walang
patients.
kita.
Yeah,
diba?
right.
So 2013, I wanted to kill myself again, but then last minute, God brought me to a meeting where I met somebody who really explained the gospel to me, Dr. Rabi Zacharias. I became a Christian. I left the Philippines. I followed him around first, doing ministry work. I went to India, Indonesia, etc., evangelistic work. And then after that, I went to Oxford to study Christian apologetics because I wanted to answer the difficult questions that I have. I did it more for myself. And after that, I was a missionary for a while. I went to Sweden, I went to Poland, I went to Denmark to share the gospel.
But right now, can you categorically say that you are already healed or you're still in the process?
That's very interesting. So what I believe is that when you are born again, you are a new creation. The old is gone, the new has come. So I fully believe that I'm truly healed, but I still have this flesh problem. So yes, I am alive spiritually, but I still have this flesh problem, which means I will still make mistakes. I will still cause harm to myself because of the decisions I will make. And those scars that they'll continue to make will require healing. So healing, I believe, will be a continuous process. But in terms of my salvation, spiritual salvation, my afterlife, I am secured. So in my faith, I do believe that we are saved by grace and not by our actions. So nothing can sift me away from God's hands, even my own wrong decisions. So yes, I am fully healed, but at the same time, I continue to heal because while I'm on this side of heaven, I still continue to make mistakes and I harm myself by doing that.
But I'm sorry, can I ask you this? What about the sexual abuse incident? Did you address that already?
Yes,
Would you like to answer who did that to you, or
no.
no? No.
I don't. I
It's
don't
okay.
even. I don't. To be honest, I don't even know the name. I don't even remember. Interestingly, because I've gone through
But you know it
many.
happened,
I
something
know it
like that.
happened. It happened twice, and I've spoken with psychiatrists and
Regarding
psychologists,
that, all
etc.,
right.
etc. To be honest, I don't really think about it much anymore. Like I said, when you become a new creation, it's just a different you. You know,
Right.
it's you're not something. Hindi siya parang level 1, 2, 3, 4,
Exactly.
5. It's level 1, 2, 3. You become a new creation. You become letter A, B, C, ganyan.
Okay.
So it's a complete transformation.
Right. So, your life is full of struggles. I mean, we've seen your life, your journey, your past struggles, and I think it's a proof that brokenness can be turned into something, or it could be turned into a strength, right? So, what keeps you going? I mean, to be able to, move forward in that mission.
Well, two things now. One, I don't know if you've heard of that saying that in love's service, it is the wounded soldiers that serve the best. So sila na nakaranas ng paghihirap, ng sakit, sila yung pinakamagaling o pinakamahusay na comforter of others. So right now my motivation is the comfort that I received when I was in that space is the same comfort that I try to share with others. In my case, it was the gospel that really saved me, so it is the gospel that I now share. So right now I serve by discipling other people. Every Tuesday, like tomorrow, for 11 years I have been discipling other people. Some of them CEOs, businessmen, some of them young people. I have in my group an 18-year-old and at the same time an 82-year-old, 80, 82,
Completely different
82
generation.
year old that I'm both discipling at the same time, sharing with them, helping them live a God glorifying life, right? And it also applies in my work. Everything that I do is as unto the Lord. I try my best. I always fail, to be honest, Angela. But everything I do, every decision I make, every thought I make, every idea, etc., I always try to do my best because my motivation is I want to give glory to my Lord. So your question is, what motivates me?
What keeps you going?
The straight answer is God has placed me in this life, and until the only time God will take me away from this life, which means my X is the day I have accomplished the mission, my personal mission. So my motivation is to find that mission and to achieve that mission. And once I achieve that mission, at least I can say, when I face my Lord, He will tell me, "Well done, my good and faithful servant."
Wow. But having said that, what's next for Dr. Hayden Kho? I mean, aside from being a doctor, a family man, a husband as well, and a person of faith.
Correct. The ones that are very very close to me, to my vision now, is number one, the SCAR project. I want to complete the SCAR project, but that's short term. The second one is to help this country in medical tourism. I want to be more involved in helping shape the policies of the different agencies in the DOH, FDA, maybe DOST, maybe Department of Tourism, etc. I think at least in Belo, Caminivix, we have accomplished our mission, but the vision we have not yet accomplished. And the vision is to make the Philippines the beauty hub of Asia. Now, in order to do that, we cannot do it by ourselves. We need the support of the government. We need the different agencies. And these agencies, I mean, sadly, they're disconnected.
Right.
They're just disjointed. And I can't blame them kasi papalit din ng papalit ng tao. So I feel that I'm more constant, I guess, and my motivation is more constant. So that's where I am
That's
now.
where you are.
I want to help the country.
I would like to ask you about how are you raising your daughter, your role as a father, of course, as a partner, as a husband of Dr. Vicky Bello. well, practically she's growing up in a, digital world.
Correct, correct,
So
correct,
how
correct.
are you guiding her?
Let's just start with being a husband because that's more important to me. Being a husband, my goal is to make, very simple, my goal is to make my wife feel loved all the time. So my goal for as a husband is just to be that loving husband who will, I hope that she can see that I will sacrifice everything, even my life, just for her. I just want her to feel that she is cherished and loved. As for being a father, what I need to do is to be a reflection of God to my daughter, which means I love, but I also discipline. So that's the goal. I want her to be a God-fearing child, and I also want her to have a life mission that is just beyond her, something wider than something for herself, something bigger.
So would you say you are a protective / cool dad, or a bit of a both?
Only my daughter can say
answer that.
kung cool ako o hindi. But when I try to use their Gen Alpha terms, pinagtatawanan niya ako and she cringes. So I don't know if they can say cool kasi yung mga friends. But I try to. I try to get into her world. I try to get especially now at 10 years old, she's in her preteen and she's more conscious about her emotions. So where we are right now specifically is I am trying to help her be able to label the different emotions that she has. I want her to be emotionally mature and not just parang every emotion is either happy, glad, lonely, sad. I try to be a reflection of our Holy Father up there to my daughter. And our Holy Father is both loving and just, and they discipline.
Yeah. All right, that's quite a journey. 30 minutes, no? Nakalipas na 30 minutes. And I guess you remind us that healing is not just about moving on, but also finding a deeper purpose. And for instance, for you, that is helping other people.
Correct.
So thank you so much for joining me today.
Angela.
And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you, Angela.
We're good.